I'm explaining that I have a lot of concern for you because I care, because I come with compassion. Because the level of complaining is unacceptable. Look, what if I told you this was the last Monday morning of your life? What if I told you you died this week? Would you complain about your crap job or that test you don't want to take? I doubt it. You would go much higher level thinking. Well, that's really what it takes. It takes understanding that if you're not pumped right now, if you're begrudging what you're about to do, if you're not looking forward to it, look, I respect practicality. You gotta go through school because your parents want to. You gotta pay your rent. You got student loans. I get it. But please recognize the world we're living in. We're living in a world where there's so much more opportunity. This internet thing created way more opportunity for all of us. Way more. You could have ended up being a bus, a tree. I just don't get the mentality of being head down sad on a Monday morning. I'm gonna make Monday morning my bitch. I'm gonna make you Saturday Monday morning. That's what I want to do every morning, and that's what I want from you. Please take a step back and think about how awesome it actually is. And then recognize that you can attack the world in a totally different way because you were lucky enough to be born during this era.
While on the pathway to success, you're gonna be struggling with laziness. It's gonna be incredibly challenging to not be lazy, but one of the best things that you can do to overcome that laziness is look back on the progress that you've made and get super excited and super pumped and motivated on that progress that you've made, and look how much closer you are to your goals and to your dreams and to those things that you aspire to accomplish. So you just make sure that you're marking down your progress and see where you've come and to where you've gotten, and that will get you super excited and super pumped because progress is incredible to see and incredible to watch, because when you're experiencing it, it's not going to feel like a lot, but when you take time to reflect and look back and meditate on what you've done, you're going to be super excited, and it's going to push you further, and you're going to want to get more done because you're going to see more progress because you're inching closer and closer every single day to that goal that you've been striving for a long time. So the more progress you are able to see, the more excited and motivated that you're going to be to not be lazy and to be wanting to go accomplish those goals and dreams every single day. Another way is to make sure that you are loving what you're doing, and what you're doing doesn't feel like work, and it doesn't feel like you have to do it, but you get to do it and you want to do it, because that's what you should try to strive to accomplish. Those big dreams should be something that you love to do, something that you truly enjoy and want to spend your time on, not feeling like you have to.
For me, it's practical positivity, right? So for me, where this conversation goes is like, for a lot of people, they could be sitting here and being like, well, it's easy for you to say. Like, people go immediately to your current, right? And, I just don't see it that way. I really genuinely believe that it's a complete game of who you spend time with and what's pumping into your ears. And so that has led me down a path of really trying to have conversations with people around limiting time with negativity. And sometimes that's hard because a lot of times that might be your mother and father or your best friend for the last 30 years. But I've been fascinated by people changing just by changing who they spend time with and what they listen to.
But what's interesting is the word that really resonated to me in the back was compassion and empathy. And look, I walked into my dad's single store liquor store and took it from a $3 to a $60 million business as a 22-year-old to 28 years old, so I had it. But to stand here this morning in front of you, it's crazy to me how much experience matters. I thought I was great, and I'm still that same person. I have those raw talents, but I have the great fortune of 20 years of experience and the great fortune of listening to the community and the comments and the feedback. The person that hosts the party has the leverage. If you start the St. Louis Business Podcast Show and then you spend 5 hours DMing, emailing, and reaching out to all the other business owners in St. Louis and inviting them to be on your podcast named the St. Louis Business Podcast, you, by just taking the initiative, have flipped the leverage and now will have much bigger business owners than you interested in being on your podcast. Through that, you will build general awareness in your region, and you will build reputation as a top of the funnel lead gen to what you actually do. The show is about the entrepreneurial or local dynamics. The awareness you get from it will allow them to figure out what you do for a living, which will lead to biz dev. I believe what I just said is as important as knowing how to balance your checkbook.
I want to give them practical advice, and hustle's the only thing. I can't tell people become more talented. Like, you're not, hey, become smart. Like, smarter was good, that was good advice, but that's not good advice anymore because information's at our hand. Like, memorizing information is not good advice anymore. What do you want to know? What is controllable?
work 3 hours more a day. Now work 3 hours more a day if you're sitting at home and complaining. If you're not happy with your life, if you're pumped, if you make $1 million a year or $50,000 a year, if you see your kids every day, if you never see your kids, if you go to tons of ball games, if you've never watched sports, however you roll, if you're pumped, if you're watching right now and you're pumped, mazel tov, I'm so happy. If you sit at home right now and you're watching this on a small screen on your laptop and you're not pumped, the one thing that I know everybody can do is watch a little less of House of Cards, is go to the bar a couple less times with their buddies, it's play a couple less games on your, but that is why I'm obsessed with hustle, because it's the one variable that everybody can control that can change the outcome of their life.
So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section down below.